Welcome, my algebra students. So today we're going to talk about the axis of symmetry. Now, there's an equation that we're going to have to remember for today. And so I want you to write it down somewhere to use. And it's x equals negative b over 2a. So all of these, no matter if you have one that opens up or one that's open down, a parabola always has its vertex, which is either the lowest point over here or the highest point over here. Now, we say symmetry, right? When we're talking about symmetry, it's something that cuts it in half, like so or like so. Now, if I find the axis of symmetry, I could find out where along the x-axis this line of symmetry occurs. Here, it would be right about there, right? Here, it would be right about there. Now, there's an x value. And I want to know that because that's where I can find it. If I know the x, then I could find the y. So this is for my axis of symmetry, this nice little formula. So take a second, write that down. You can pause the video if you want. I'm going to switch to our group practice problem. So they say here, what is the graph of the function negative x squared plus 4x minus 2? Now, I'm going to ask you to sketch the graph when you hand in the work, because I know not all of you have access to a piece of graph paper, or maybe you can't print this out, but you can all sketch it. I want it to be accurate. So, first thing I got to do is I got to find that axis of symmetry. Okay, well, negative b, so negative, this is my a. Well, let's write this down, a, b, c. My a is negative 1, my b is 4, and my c is negative 2. Now, all I need is negative b, negative 4, over 2 times a. We forget all about that c. That c doesn't mean anything. Well, now it doesn't. So my number is negative 4 over negative 2. Well, if I put this in my calculator, negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2. So go down here to the graph, I find positive 2 on my x-axis, because this is x equals. And so I don't know what my graph is going to look like yet, but I know either the highest point or the lowest point is going to be on this line of positive 2. Now, how are we going to find the other problems becomes a bigger problem. So where are all these numbers? Well, I can start plugging these in. I'm going to take the cheat. I'm going to put in some x's. I'm going to put them into our formula, negative x squared plus 4x minus 2. I'm going to get some y's. Now, I could do this by hand, putting in one at a time, but you know I don't like to do that. So I'm going to do, let's see, this is 2. This one here would be 3. Let's do 3, 4, 5. Let's do 3, 4, and 5. I'm only going to do 3. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do 2. Okay. So let's do this. So I'm going to lie and tell the people in the regions I'm doing this really well. 4 times 3 minus 2, negative 4 plus 4 times 4 minus 2 minus 5 plus 4 times 5 minus 2. Now, you might be able to do this in your head. I'm not saying that's impossible. But why bother? I'm just going to do this in the good old trusty calculator. Now, you notice I'm not using any points to the left here because we have a trick for that, if you remember. So y equals, clear out these things. I'm going to put in here. I'm going to say, well, I'm going to put in negative x squared plus 4x minus 2. Second, I'm not going to graph it. I want the table. Table. So over here on my table, I see for 3, y is 1. For 4, y is negative 2. For 5, y is negative 7. And go back to 2. 2 is 2. So there's 4 points on this. Now, if you're using Desmos at home, you could take your pointer and click over these points and see where they meet up. So you can get a table that way. It's one way to get a table. Now, over here, I just got to start adding in numbers here. So I got 3, comma, 1. 3, comma, 1. That's right here. I got 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 2. That means I go down 2. Then I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then finally, 2, comma 2 is right here. Can almost see what this quadratic is going to look like. Now the problem is I only did 1/2 of this quadratic. Now I got to do the other half. So again, I look at our axis of symmetry. And I say, well, this one is only 1 from the axis of symmetry. So I go over 1 in this direction. I see that this one is 1, 2 from the axis of symmetry. So I go over 1, 2 in this direction. And finally, this one is 1, 2, 3 from the axis of symmetry. So I go 1, 2, 3 in this direction. And then look at that. Here is my parabola. Very interesting. Okay. Now sketch it, but I want you to copy this. So we know how to do it. Copy this. But I want you to sketch this, especially where you would think the axis of symmetry works. Okay, so I don't want to see the axis of symmetry over here or over here. It's got to be up in the middle. All right.